NBA All-Star, member of the All-NBA First Team, selected 3rd overall from the University of Duke, Jayson Tatum is a special talent. We've already come to learn a ton about the 24-year-old Celtics superstar and what he's capable of on the basketball court. But there's still a bit of uncovering to do about both his personal and professional life. Let's see how much you really know about number 0 from Boston. Here are 10 things you didn't know about Jayson Tatum. First up, Jayson Tatum admitted that he wasn't expecting to become a father so soon. And by soon, I mean just 19 years old. Jayson Tatum's son, Deuce Tatum, was born on December 6, 2017, when Tatum was only a rookie in the NBA. For most people, fatherhood is planned beforehand. But for Tatum, he said he wasn't all that thrilled to hear about his incoming firstborn child.
You just turned 19, your high school girlfriend tells you she's pregnant. What's your reaction?
I got sick to my stomach.
Tatum was obviously very young, and he didn't know what to think when he found out his girlfriend was pregnant. With the NBA draft on the come-up for Tatum, that's all he was really concerned about at the time. After not being sure how to tell his family and teammates, Tatum finally opened up to the Celtics about the news of his expected child a week before Deuce was born. And the rest was history for Tatum as a father and as a budding star in the NBA. Moving on to number 9, many players have a huge motive behind choosing to wear a particular number in the NBA. For LeBron, he chose 23 because of MJ. Kevin Durant chose number 35 to pay homage to his father. Steph Curry wears number 30 because of his father, Del Curry, so on and so forth. But in Tatum's case, he chose number 0 to pay homage to one of his favorite players growing up, Gilbert Arenas. Which, I'll admit, came as a bit of a surprise to me knowing that Tatum is notorious for being a Kobe guy, and recounting a number of times his relationship with Kobe. But Gilbert Arenas was a stone-cold scorer too, so it makes sense. And speaking of Kobe, did you know that the late great Kobe Bryant once invited a young Tatum to come work out with him during the summer? Here's how the story went. Kobe went through Tatum's agent to get in touch with the young Celtics star. And one day, Tatum looked at his phone and saw a text message from the Black Mamba himself. "Young fella, happy for your success, stay focused, keep going. If you're in LA this summer and you want to work out, just let me know." So Tatum was starstruck when he got the chance to work with Kobe. And it's a day I'm sure he'll never forget, saying, "Besides my son being born, that's like the best day of my life. Just to be in that gym with him and work out with him and learn some tips, I'll never forget that day. How I felt going into the workout, how I felt afterward, I just felt like that was the coolest thing ever for me. I'll never forget that." I know Tatum appreciated Kobe's encouragement and support because it's something Tatum likely was seeking since childhood. By Tatum's own ambition, Kobe inspired him growing up and was someone he always looked up to, especially considering Tatum's often conflicting relationship with his father.
He was extremely tough on me, cussed me out in front of everybody, embarrassed me, humiliate me, throw the ball at me, just because he wanted, in his eyes, he wanted me to be the toughest.
Though his father was often hard to deal with, Tatum admits that it was something that helped him grow up faster and even something that made him the man he is today. I'll tell you what, nothing is going to make you grow and develop faster as a basketball player than being a neighbor to a future NBA star. That's exactly the kind of fortune Tatum has as a youngster, trying his best to develop his basketball skills. It turns out Tatum lived just 4 minutes away from the Wizards star Bradley Beal. Beal was at an elevated stage in his own basketball journey because he was 5 years older than Tatum, so he became an excellent role model to the young Tatum. Beal and Tatum developed a close friendship, and Tatum eventually pushed for Beal to come sign with the Boston Celtics a few years ago in free agency. It's not every day you'll hear a story like this. At number 4, it's also not an everyday thing to hear about breaking records in the NBA. At just 20 years old, by the way. We all remember Jayson Tatum's breaking out party in the 2018 postseason, when much of the world got to see his talent firsthand. And of course, he did pull off a memorable dunk in the conference finals on LeBron's head. On his way to all the highlights and high-flying posters, Tatum also became the youngest player in the history of the NBA to record at least 200 points during a single postseason. Not LeBron, not Kobe, not even MJ can say that. Sticking with the theme of youngest to achieve a feat, in the long, storied, and superstar-studded history of the Boston Celtics, Jayson Tatum became the youngest Celtic ever to be named to an All-NBA team. At just 22 years old, JT earned an All-NBA third-team honors, and no Celtics player ever can say they achieved such an individual feat at a younger age. Not even the great Larry Bird. We've talked about Tatum's relationships with former NBA stars and current NBA stars, and even his personal relationships, but I've got to admit, this one surprised me. Did you know that Tatum has a cousin who played in the NBA? Want to take a guess at who it is? He's still around the game and actually in the NBA, well, sort of. Any guesses? I learned recently that Tatum's cousin is actually Tyronn Lue, a former NBA player and championship-winning head coach. Speaking more of relationships, JT established a bit of a connection with the NBA MVP back in 2014. 7 years ago, as a sophomore in high school, JT attended a Kevin Durant-run basketball camp, during which he had the opportunity to meet and pick the mind of one of his childhood idols. And I think it's safe to say that Tatum made a lasting impression on one of the greatest players in the world even back then. KD told him, "You're going to be in the Hall of Fame one day." I'd say that is going to go down as an accurate statement by KD. JT is certainly on that path. Lastly, I know I drifted away for a second from JT's growing on-court resume, but I've got another for you. Tatum is the youngest to score 20 or more points in 4 consecutive playoff games. It might not sound like a whole lot, but man, not even guys like MJ, Kobe, LeBron, KD, you name it, have done something quite like that. No player had ever done that until Tatum pulled off that feat. His resume will only grow as he continues to hunt for his first championship. Hey, hold on a second, where are you headed? We've still got plenty of other great videos for you to watch, so sit tight, get comfy, and watch some more Home for Hoops.